up, you guys? Welcome to Yarii Reads Requiem, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not too sure. So this video is going to be even more quick because my battery is close to dying. I thought I had charged it, and apparently I didn't. So let's begin with it. So the way this book is set up is very different from Delirium and from Pandemonium. This book is, for example, like it'll switch between Lena's side of the story and Hannah's side of the story, which Hannah is the best friend that came out in Delirium. In Delirium. And in Pandemonium, Lena kept mentioning her because she missed her. So the overview of this book is that Lena is living in the wilds and she's with Julian, and Alex showed up now. And she realizes that she still has feelings for Alex, and she's very worried about what's gonna happen. And then another girl comes along and she starts stealing Alex away. I was really pissed. I couldn't with that girl. But anyways, they keep planning the rebellion for the government against the DFA. And so Julian, like I said, he was saved and everything. But in this book, instead of being very fragile and very naive, I guess you can say, he starts showing his strong character. He's actually a fighter and he's a very nice guy. I really like him. So Lena gets reunited with her mama. It turns out that she gets to join them for the fight, and she asks her questions like how come she never went looking for her, and just different things. And she told her about her life before she moved over here. She never told her about Alex, about how like they loved each other and whatnot. She never mentioned him to her, and she never told Julian that he was the guy that she was in love with. I'm sorry, but Julian kind of knew. And her mom is really happy for her. She's really happy that she found someone and that she's in love. But she obviously feels sad because, I mean, her husband died and she has given up so much, and she has just suffered so much throughout her life. And she hopes that Lena gets to live a different life than she did. So that's also pretty much why she's fighting for this cause. So we switch over to Hannah's side, and it turns out that Hannah's gonna get married. She got her cure, and she got set up with someone who is actually the son of the mayor of the city, which I think, oh my gosh, they were in Portland, Oregon, I think. I'm not sure, because I mean, I read it a long time ago. Well, not that long, but still. So she is supposed to get married to him and whatnot, and then so his dad gets killed, and he's promoted to mayor, and their wedding gets bumped up because, I don't know, I guess because he's like a celebrity or whatever. So she's gonna get married, and then she reveals that she is not completely cured. She still has nightmares, and she worries about Lena, and my Mexican side showing. And so she tries to look for her family, and she goes to her old house, and it turns out that they're not living there anymore. Their house was condemned, or it's just that they show them as sympathizers. And she keeps looking for Lena's family, and she finds her cousin Grace, who was the one that never spoke. She is very thin. She looks almost dead, and she's very sad about what happened to her. So she sets in her mind that she is going to help out Grace. At first I thought, wow, this is really nice of Hannah to help out Grace, but then she reveals that she was the one that gave Hannah and Alex away. So because of her, she ruined her life. I can't with Hannah. Okay, so then kind of fast forward to the wedding day. A little bit before the wedding day, Hannah finds out that Julian had been married before. And Okay, so then Hannah finds out that Fred actually had a wife before her, and she doesn't know what happened to her. He just says that she went crazy, that she asked too many questions, and she sees the real side of him. He's very mean, he's very violent, and she decides to find out what happened to her. So she goes to the cribs, and she pretends that that girl is her aunt, and then she tries to find out if she's there. So it turns out that she is actually there, and she starts talking to her, and the girl reveals to her that it was Fred who actually killed his dad. He sent someone to kill him because he just wants power and he is just crazy. And she kind of believes him and she's scared for her own life. So then it's the day of the wedding, and it's actually on Lena's side the day that they're gonna like go against the DFA and the whole city. And then oh, you know what I skipped? Okay, so Lena starts getting really jealous and she starts like pulling away from Julian because of like Alex flirting with the other girl and whatnot. And then one day they talk and Alex reveals that he's not in love with her, that he just pretended and that everything was a lie. I was so heartbroken. I felt just like Lena. I wanted to cry. It was so sad. But anyway, so then she decides, okay, I'm just gonna stick to Julian, I guess now, since she doesn't want to be alone. Okay, she kind of started to annoy me a little bit in this book because she was kind of a little whiny. Anyway, so the day of Hannah's wedding is actually the same day that the rebellion is gonna happen. And they're planning all these things, and then they're able to break in. Hannah goes in. Lena goes into the city, and while Hannah is getting married, they hear the explosion, and like, of course, everybody goes crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then Fred sends Hannah with his bodyguards to their house, and then she's about to get there, and then boom, they almost ran over a girl. So it turns out that this girl is actually Lena, and they're both really shocked to see each other. And then, okay, so my battery died anyways, and 1,000 milkshakes afterwards, it finally recharged. And let's keep on going with the review. So when Hannah sees Lena, she recognizes her immediately, and she asks her bodyguards to put her in the car, and she's gonna go with them to the house. And when you read on Hannah's side, she's trying not to give away like that she knows Lena or anything like that. And on Lena's side, she sees how changed Hannah seems and how different, because she's like not paying attention to her or whatever, but I mean, she doesn't know what's going on. So then they start pulling up to Hannah's house, which is obviously Fred's house as well, because now they're married. And Hannah realizes that one of the bombs that was implanted around the city is implanted somewhere in her house. So they go in, and Hannah offers her food, water, whatever, because she sees how undernourished she is. And she feels really bad, and she asks her how she's doing, and then she tells her what happened, that she's the one that told the DFA that she had fallen in love and that she was sick and I don't know what. Lena obviously gets super furious, and she's just crazy, and she wanted to hit Hannah, and she was just like, why did you do that? And Hannah said she was jealous because she kind of wanted to have what Lena had. And Lena was like, well, you had everything else, you had a family, you had a house, and they just fought. And then Hannah says she's sorry and I don't know what. And then they keep talking about it, and Hannah tells eventually Lena what has happened with Fred, with his wife and previous wife and whatnot. And then Hannah lets Lena go, and she's like, escape before they hear him coming in, like into the house, and Hannah's like, leave because he's gonna kill you. So then Lena tells her about the bomb, and she's like, I'm still really mad at you, but like she still loves her because they were best friends. And Hannah is shocked and whatnot. And then before she leaves, Hannah tells Lena where she found Grace, because Lena was actually like, one of her goals was to find Grace and save her from like being killed or anything. So Hannah helps her out, and then Lena she runs off. And then as she runs off, Fred walks in, and actually Lena had she slapped Hannah. So when Fred walks in, he's like super mad, and he's like, where's that girl? Where's that crazy wild girl? And then Hannah says that she escaped, that she hit her, and well, she still hoped that she hit the mark. And then So he was super scared. I mean, he was not super scared. He was super mad that like she let her go, but she can see that Hannah's like kind of like defenseless. And then Hannah lies to him, and she says, "Oh well, you know what? I was able to get out of her some information, and she told me that there's some sympathizers on our street." And that they're all targeting you. That if you leave this house, they're gonna shoot you and kill you. So he's obviously shocked. He believes her because he thinks that she is starting to like him or something. And then she says, he's like, okay, let me just deal with it. And then he says, go upstairs, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, just promise me you won't go outside. I don't want anything to happen to you. And she plays an innocent card. And he promises her that, and then she leaves the house, and she doesn't know where she's gonna go. She just leaves. And then Lena eventually finds Grace, and they both cry, and she's so surprised at how Grace is. She's so different too, and now she doesn't know what's gonna happen. She starts running towards the wall where they first like enter Portland. And she doesn't know if Julian is dead. She doesn't know if her mom is dead. She doesn't know if Tak is dead. Raven already died. And she just doesn't know what's gonna happen. But she knows that she has Grace, and that's it. Like, she was one of the people she was really worried about, aside from Hannah. So then eventually she gets to the wall with Grace, and she sees that people are hitting the wall, like destroying it. Yeah, people, not just the invalids, like uncured people and sympathizers from Portland. They're helping them out. They all want freedom. So then she sees Alex, and she's surprised because she thought that he had like left or whatever. And because Hannah does tell her that she had seen Alex. So before this had happened, Alex had actually left the group of the invalids, and he left a note, and he said, I'm like something like, I'm in between the story of King Solomon or something like that. I don't remember what king it was or what. But it was one regarding the babies and how it was in the Bible, but they changed it in the DFA story. So the DFA changed the story, so Lena didn't really understand it, so he left. And then she was actually talking to the girl that he was flirting with, and she says she was really sad, I don't know what, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry that Alex left you. And she's like, it doesn't really matter because he still loved you. And then she's like, no, you're wrong, he told me he didn't, it was a lie, blah blah blah. So then fast forward to when she sees Alex. She is just shocked because her mom actually had talked, they talked about it, and her mom revealed to her that the DFA story was wrong. The DFA had said that the baby was split in half to satisfy both of the women, but in reality, like in the real story, the baby wasn't split. The real mother, I guess one of the moms, because there was two moms claiming a baby, right? So then the king, he said, well, let's split them in half so you both can have equal parts. So then one of the ladies, she said, no, she can keep them, it's fine. And that's how he realized that she was a real mother. So she allowed him to keep them. And that's how Lena realized that like her mom was in that same situation. She didn't come back to get her because she, not that she was sacrificing Lena, but she was sacrificing herself so that Lena wouldn't get in trouble. And Alex kind of did the same thing. So then when she meets up with Alex, they talk and they kiss and they're in love again. So then she turns to the wall and she grabs Grace by the hand, and she sees her mom and she sees Julian, and they're all hitting at the wall. And she does too, and Grace does too, and the end. That is just pretty much it. That's all for today's review / summary, and I really enjoyed this trilogy. I will link down below the summaries for the other two books, and I hope you guys read them.